On Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we remember Dr. King's legacy, his powerful words, and his leadership. We also have to take away from what he preached and apply it to scenarios that we're still seeing today. WDVM Cheyenne Corin spoke with a local American race and politics expert who tells us how MLK's principles would be interpreted.
When you look at current events that really show where we are as a society and how polarized we are as a country, based on his principles, what do you think Martin Luther King Jr.'s perspective of all of this would be?
I think he would be disappointed, that we are still fighting some of the same. It's not exactly the same, but it appears to be, that we're not kind of just on an upward trajectory.
Dr. Tucker-Worgs says it's important we give more attention to Dr. King's moral vision for American politics, and that based on Dr. King's political work, he would see our society's tolerance for issues such as racism, poverty, and even a public health crisis as morally corrupt.
A moral state wouldn't allow or wouldn't perpetuate racism, right? A moral state wouldn't allow or perpetuate such inequality of kind of economic inequality. Instead, it would do things to mitigate that inequality.
And while Dr. King's ethical vision guided his dedication to nonviolence, Dr. Tucker-Worgs says it's actually a misinterpretation of his work to suggest that he wouldn't support civil unrest disruptions. Instead, she says King actually found tension necessary for change.
He would say, I believe, that it is not only okay for people to demonstrate against, what they saw as police brutality, but also it was their responsibility.
Reporting in Frederick County, Maryland, I'm Cheyenne Corin for WDVM 25.
Cheyenne, thank you. So while this day is observed as a day of service, Dr. Tucker-Worgs also says Dr. King would want us to use it as a day to reflect and rededicate ourselves to social justice.
As if air travel isn't hectic and frustrating enough.